The world is not going to change until you change. Now, this is something that will light red lights by the hundreds of thousands of any of our listeners who are still using their intellect as their main guidance vehicle through life. The intellect is designed to work closely with the five senses. It analyzes, compares, deduces, and reports the most effective ways to pursue external power, manipulate and control. And like I say, this used to be good medicine. It's now toxic. As we become multisensory, the intellect cannot follow. It's not designed to move into multisensory perception. Five sensory perception in a way it can't grasp, it can't compute. And to communicate and articulate multisensory perception requires the higher order of logic and reasoning or understanding of the heart. So there are many things that you'll see and be able to articulate as you begin to use your multisensory perception, which is a gift. It's a gift. You don't have to develop it, although we will, like we develop cognition. But all you have to do is unwrap it and use it. Yeah. Look at your experiences. Sometimes you know things about people that your five senses didn't tell you. You just know. That's a multisensory perception. And you can use all of these things, and you will. And I suggest that you do. And you use all of what we talked about to answer the big questions that you've just brought up, Louis. And the last one was very practical. So you asked for a practical example from my life. And
let me ask another question while you answered that, because I think this might cue it up. And I think a lot of my audience loves this conversation around the law of attraction. And I'm curious, what is your thoughts on attachment versus the law of attraction, and using the intention of love to create something and attract into your life without being attached to the result? What's your thoughts on that?
The law of attraction is as simple as you described it, or I think as you were describing it. Energy attracts like energy. That's the law of attraction. Remember I told you when I was in the coffee shop talking about whether we create the reality that we're discussing and experimenting with, and that I was with people like me. They were intellectual, arrogant, superior, judgmental. I didn't notice it at the time. I thought they were good guys. If your experience is that life is a brutal dog-eat-dog world, that's the world you're living in. If you are loving, that's the world you're going to live in. That's the law of attraction. And it's accurate. If you think I'm going to use the law of attraction because I'm going to get more money, recognition, love, sex, fixes, whatever it is, you're going to draw more people with exactly that energy. That's the law of attraction. Now, as you can see, it's one of the great non-physical dynamics that affect the earth school, and the other is the law of cause and effect, which in the East is called karma. Karma is a message delivery system. Whenever you act with an intention, that intention creates consequences, and those consequences will affect other people. And when other people experience those consequences, you will experience what they experience. Now, let me give you a concrete example. Suppose you betray someone. Like some people have told me of someone not showing up at a wedding. Others have told us, I did that, or I wish I had. I was walking down the aisle and I knew I shouldn't be doing this. I knew it, but I did anyway. And now 30 years later, we're getting divorced, and I paid the price of not listening to my intuition. And other people have never forgiven someone who didn't show up at the wedding. So these are examples of betrayal. If you do that, you will experience betrayal, but it may not come in the same terms, in the same package that you're expecting. For example, a platoon leader may abandon you in combat. Someone you've gotten to know, your bookkeeper, embezzles from you. You may not recognize the wrapping, but when it comes, you'll recognize what's in the package. The same experience that your choices of intention created in someone else. So that's why we can look at the universal law of cause and effect as a message delivery system. Whenever you choose an intention of love or fear and you act on it, you send a message. And on that message, the address on that message is return to sender. And it always comes back to you with precision. It doesn't matter if you move. It doesn't matter if you die. It doesn't matter. You will get the message. The universal law of cause and effect is the universal impersonal teacher of responsibility. And that accompanies, stands side by side with the law of attraction. People who are 5 sensory say, I'll believe it when I see it. People who are multisensory know, I'll see it when I believe it. Can I give you a story that illustrates the law of attraction?
Yes.
All right. So it's a young couple is driving through Vermont in foliage, and it's gorgeous. And they see an old man rocking on his porch. So they decide they want to interact, and they stop the car and they walk up to him and they said, what are people like who live here? And the old man said, well, what are they like where you come from? And then the couple thought and they said, well, they're not very forgiving. They're pretty hard people. They all want what they can get. And the old man said, yeah, well, they're pretty much like that here too. Shortly after, another couple drove by the same house, talked to the same old man, and they said, asked the same question. What are the people like who live here? The old man asked them the same question. What are they like where you come from? And they said, oh, they're forgiving, they're loving, they're good neighbors. They care about one another. And the old man said, people here are much like that too. That's the law of attraction. But once you know the law of attraction, you know that your energy is continually attracting people to you that reflect your energy. They're not commenting on it. They're not judging it. It's like the law of cause and effect doesn't comment on your messages. It doesn't discuss them. It just delivers them. And the law of attraction doesn't show you what's better or what's worse. It shows you you. And as we become multisensory, we begin to experience these things directly and to experiment with them.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.